Your voice is your most powerful business tool. You agree with that? All right. And also, it's how you pitch to investors, lead teams, and you also go out there, you build your own brand. And Joshua last year got on the stage. I wasn't paying attention because and then he just started talking, and I was like, oh my God, every single word he said resonated in a way. You know? And then I found him at my job a few months ago, like, yeah, ¿qué pasa aquí? But you can also find him on iHeart, all the podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts at. Download this podcast. Please pay attention to it. Because if he says 100 words, 20 might hit, or 100 might hit. But please download his podcast. And I'm here plugging it, not only because we work in the same building now, but because it does something to you when Joshua speaks. And he's here for his second year in a row. We're already trying to book him for the third one. I hope he's available before he gets all famous and stuff. But he's here to share his insights on finding your authentic voice and turning that into real business value, okay? Give it up for my new friend since last year. We're tight like this now. Joshua Rosa in the place, y'all.
By the way, the name of the podcast is Made for This Mountain. Not just plug, it's just a segue in there. And it's funny because last year I started speaking at this event, and within the course of that time frame, my podcast got picked up by iHeartRadio. So we were just randomly ran into each other because I was actually filming some stuff there for some B-roll stuff that we were recording. But that is a byproduct of believing what I say. Like in this session, my whole goal is for you to believe what you say. One of the biggest things that we lose sight of is that our voice matters, that our voice has power, that it carries. And the reason that we lose sight of that is because we are actually our own biggest enemy. We're meant to be our biggest cheerleader, but we're our biggest critics. The study says that every person has about 12,000 to 80,000 thoughts in a day. And the statistic says that out of all those thoughts, 80% are negative. You know how crazy it is that you talk more poorly to you than anyone else? And because we convince ourselves of certain things, we allow ourselves to be stuck in the things that we're not. So we never take the next step. We never invest. We never start the podcast. We never start the social media. We never do the thing that we can actually do because we've convinced ourselves that it's not possible. Your brain, the way it's wired, it's meant to protect you. That's its whole goal. So what it does is that it moves you away from scary things. But I want to just kind of shape that a little bit with the vision, because what happens a lot of times is that, yes, we are our biggest enemies, but we can conquer that, right? We can grow into that, we can become better. But a lot of times we've allowed the outside voice to impact the inside actions. We've allowed what people are saying or doing to change the things that we do. So I'm Dominican, and I just speak really fast for no reason, because we're Dominican. We're just loud, we're passionate. I'm not yelling, we're not fighting, it's just a conversation. It could be the most loving, endearing conversation, but it's just loud. And I remember that this person came to me and was speaking to me and said, well, if you slow down how you speak, maybe you'll reach more people. First of all, this person has never had the accolades that I've had. I've spoken in arenas with 5,000 plus people. I've done all these things, and I've been in all these places, and I'm sure it came from a good place. I'm sure the intention was good and forward. And I can do that. I can slow down my talk. And I can enunciate every vowel and reach the end of every word. And I can tell a story in that way, but it wouldn't be me. The person you'd be getting is the person that everyone else is. What I mean by that is that your vision, your voice is yours, and people will try to change that to fit the vision that they have, or the lack thereof. So they'll tell you that you're not capable of doing something, or they'll tell you change X, Y, and Z because that's how they think, but I need you to understand this person has never been in the places I've been. They want to limit the people that have these, again, it could be positive, but they will limit what you believe and what you see based on what they can't do. We have to be careful with the voices that we allow in, the conversations that we have, the things that we allow into our mind, because again, if you are already fighting against yourself, it doesn't help that you're bringing another voice in. So your vision and your voice, these things are tied in. How you see things, how you speak towards yourself, how you increase these things, allows you to believe more deeply into who you are. I hate to use this example, but one of the greatest examples of people who believe in themselves are like your hometown rappers. no matter, okay, if you're a hometown rapper, I'm not digging on you. No, no, that's it. Don't say it. No, but that's not mine because it's good. It's a compliment. And I'm not saying stop. But bro, they believe in themselves. Like they believe that they're the next one that's gonna hit. It's like one day they're like 74 years old, they're singing, but they're gonna be the first 75-year-old to get signed. But that kind of delusional belief in yourself is good. That's the kind of thing that we need to actually dive into. We need to believe so much in us that it is inevitable that it won't happen. Like we need to start even planning what next year looks like because I believe the thing I'm doing now. I believe so much in me that everything else has to be a byproduct of me. And this is where that whole big F word comes, not the bad one, but failure. The moment that you see failure once, if you do not believe in you completely, you'll stop right there. The people that have mastered things have failed over and over and over and over again. So much so that they understand every single morsel of failure. That everything else now becomes easy. That's how mastery works, by the way. You can't master something until you failed in it completely, boldly and loudly. So the question that I bring to you today is what do you believe? Like, what is that voice that you have with whatever your craft is, whether it is diving into the media sphere, or whether it is the technology component, or whether it is the industries that you want to come into? What do you believe? Do you believe that you belong, or do you believe that you don't? And whatever you believe, that's the truth. We need to reshape how we see things. Again, Dominican, so we all play baseball for some reason. I was like born with a glove. You know how all Dominican guys say they were really good at baseball? I really was. Like, I'm not just saying it, but my cousin JJ lived in the Bronx, I lived in Jersey, and when we were about 12 years old, he would come over and we would do this thing called long tossing. So long toss is when you throw the ball back and forth as far as you can. And I remember I had just watched this movie on Disney Channel, when Disney Channel used to have good movies. It was called Sky High. So in this movie, every time a birthday would pass, they would get a superpower. I'm glad some of you agree with me because it makes me feel not as old. It's like we're on par. Every time the birthday would pass, they would get a superpower. So me being the jerk of a 12-year-old I was, I thought to myself, oh, I'm gonna play a prank on JJ. So he throws the ball, I catch it, I throw it back, I catch it. And again, Dominican, super dramatic for no reason. And I just go, and JJ goes, yo, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing, bro, forget about it. Like, he walks all the way over. He's like, no, like, you're my cousin. Something is wrong with you. You could trust me. I'm like, bro, I can't tell you. He's like, tell me. I was like, no. He's like, okay, I'll tell you. The other day, I found out that our family were superheroes. And JJ started bugging, like, yelling. He's like, yo, I always knew it. He's like, that's why Theo's so strong. He's not. He's like 100 pounds wet. And he's like, stares at me. He doesn't blink. And he's like, yo, what's my superpower? I didn't think it was going to get this far, so I wasn't ready. But I was like, bro, you never noticed? And he's like, what? I'm like, you're mad fast. So he just stares at me again. He just turns around and runs to the back and runs back. He's like, how fast was that? I'm like, how fast was what? You didn't even move. I convinced him he was a Flash. So JJ thinking he has super speed, he ran into his mom's room to take his Game Boy back, and she hit him with a chancleta, just poof, in the back of the head. He comes back to me the next day, Ty's like, bro, my mom hit me with a shoe. I'm like, bro, she's a part of the family. She has superpowers too. He's like, oh, it makes sense. JJ thinking he has super speed, he went to school and began to run through the hallways like a kid from Naruto with his arms out. And the teacher just stops him, like, what are you doing? He's like, you could see me? She's like, I'll see you in detention. Eventually, JJ figured out that he didn't have super speed. And I'm not saying that that's your super speed. It's your gift. Don't go running. I mean, go ahead, do whatever you want. You're an adult, but maybe don't run around here. It's a little wet. But there is something that was given to you. There's a gifting that you have, something that you're uniquely good at, something that's special in you. And my biggest question when it comes to these things is, who told you that you don't have that anymore? Like, a lot of us lose sight of our vision because we listen to the voices that told us that those things are unachievable. We listen to the people that made it. They tried to hyperimpose their doubt on you. They try to tell you that you can't because they couldn't. So we rob ourselves of the gifting and the talent and the ability we have because somebody else was miserable. And they told me I wasn't able. I can't begin to tell you the amount of conversations I've had with people who want to do certain things that I've done, and the reason that they don't go or they don't do or they don't step in is because the preconceived notion they have of what other people will say about them. Here's a spoiler. They're going to talk anyway. They're going to say, you could fly, levitate, and they'll be like, yeah, but he was kind of crooked when he flew. He took off a little harsh. There will always be opinions from the peanut gallery. There will always be comments. There will always be people that will look at the thing that you have, the dream that you have. It's not even their dream. They'll look at your dream and be like, no comienza ahí que está mal. Cállate. Estúpido, okay? It's not your dream. But this is the problem. This is the question that we leave you with, that we bring to you. Are you listening to the voice that's outside, and even the critic inside? Are you actually stable enough to say that I'm delusional in what I can do? People will rob you of your dream before you even start. But the only way that they can rob you, I need you to understand, there's a dichotomy between power that you give and power that you have. The only way they can rob you is if you give it to them. There is not a single person in this world that can make you feel anything that you didn't allow them to make you feel. I'm not saying that they will do things to hurt you or attack you or whatever. They might do those things, but everything that I do next, or everything I give into next, everything that I stop, that's on us. Your vision is uniquely yours. Your gifting is uniquely yours. The thing that you're building is uniquely yours. But we can't sit here and desire these things if all we're going to do is just allow people to rob us of them. So, as we just come closer to an end here, just this takeaway that your vision is what you make it. It's what you believe, not what's been told, not what's been stopped, not what's been drilled into your head. 12,000 to 80,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of them are negative. The way we combat that, by the way, is actually pretty simple, is every time you have a negative thought, speak two positive things into yourself. So if today you're saying, man, I can't achieve that thing, say, well, I did this. Maybe you want to compliment what you look like today, but my outfit is fire. Like whatever it is, something positive. It can be the smallest thing in the world. Just choose the thing that you're going to combat that lie with. Because lies are loud because they have to be. That's why we struggle so much with lies. Lies are very, very boisterous because the truth is simple and common. A lot of people will try to down talk your vision. Like if you had told me last year at this event that someone was going to pay me to talk. Okay, social media pays me to talk, whatever. That's like a thing. But like somebody was going to reach out to me, and I was telling Len before, I was like, yeah, I received this email, and I didn't believe it. Like I thought it was a scam. So I like reverse engineered and searched where the IP address was leading to. And it really wasn't my heart radio. And I still didn't believe it. And they sent me a contract, and I signed it, and I was like, nobody can scam me. Said, fue la casa de mi abuela. And then they sent me my first paycheck, and I'm like, no, what's going to happen is that somebody's going to claim this, and I'm going to have to pay back a lot of money in one shot. The reality is that we're so easy to talk down to ourselves. I'm in a state in my life where I'm like, I deserve it. We go through imposter syndrome a lot too, where we don't believe we deserve the platforms that we have, the things that we're doing. That you deserve it. And I'm not gassing you up because you're more special than anyone else. No, you deserve what you work for. If you are willing to put the time in, you deserve the outcome of that. Your vision, your mission, and your life will all lead to the things that you believe. The question is,